All right, guys, welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League, as we now have on the phone with us our round of 16 first place advancer honorer from Group E. It is Dignitas Bling. How are you doing, man?
Hey, obviously I'm pretty good.
Congratulations, I heard your mother in the background. She's probably still there listening in.
I am.
Yeah, she is. You're live on the show. So first of all, the big question is that we were discussing, how did you disconnect? Tell us the real reason, what happened in that last game.
It's the woman standing behind me.
No,
basically,
I'll tell you.
Mom, go away. basically, my internet's been having a few troubles. I'm not really sure what it is, but earlier on today when the phone rang, I disconnected for some reason, and I think that's happened like 2 times now. So the phone started ringing when I was playing, and I guess she unplugged the phone, which made me disconnect.
Did she watch all of your games today?
Sorry?
Did she watch all of the games today then?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
No, I didn't
Mum,
see
go
any
away.
of them.
Why can you just leave me alone?
Oh, Sam.
Well, this is an interesting interview.
This is the best interview we've had so far, I think.
All right.
Not the fact that it's all Brits, but the fact that my mum's in the background.
It's like a half-half interview. It's with you and your mother.
Yeah.
It's like the question I first should ask is, how does your mother feel about you going to the round of 16?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay!
yeah, she's obviously
Very
pretty
happy.
This house is crazy. It's actually a crazy house.
There's everyone there
Who else
cheering
is
for
there?
you. There's like a party. Did you expect to go through today or something with everyone coming over?
No, it's only my mum and my stepdad, but that's it. But yeah, I didn't expect to go through at all, to be honest. That's why. I guess that's why I played kind of relaxed in my first games against StarDust. But obviously, you could kind of tell when I started winning against Happy, it kind of started slipping away from me because obviously nerves started getting the better of me. But yeah, it's pretty unexpected, to be honest.
Yeah, I've known you obviously in StarCraft for ages now. It's been years and years and years, and especially in these type of games, I know nerves do get to you. So the game I want to bring up first is against StarDust on heavy rain. You know what you're playing against pretty much. You know what you have to do.
Yeah.
When you finally stop the first attack, not talking about the other one, what was going through your mind when you had up to a couple of immortals, no more Blink Stalkers are coming at you?
I was like, please, please, please don't mess up. Please, please, please don't mess up. Because I knew I was going to win, but I wouldn't be sad if I lost to Stardust. But from that position, I would have been sad.
Yeah.
So I just really didn't want to mess up. I stayed calm though. I didn't lose focus or anything, and obviously I knew what I had to do. The follow up was obviously the best follow up I thought was just Blink and a few more gates, and paid off.
I mean, coming into this group, obviously you anticipated having to deal with any of the players. Obviously here you had to go through starter first, and then you could have had to play either Bly or Happy, depending on where you ended up. Would you have felt comfortable against Bly if you'd have had to play him, etc.?
Yeah, especially instead of Happy too.
Yeah.
If that was to be the case.
Well, I guess other than me, Bly is probably the other weakest player in the group. But if anyone ever watches my games against Zerg, I'm just terrible. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't click, and I always seem to lose against Zerg. So probably not. Even though Happy's the stronger player, and I probably would have had more of an even game against Bly, I still would have preferred to play Happy, I think.
And I suppose, was that your overall strategy really, or mindset going into the game against Happy? Because you kind of know how he plays, and then you would just, in game number 1 and 2, we saw that, where you just kind of took advantage of maybe his predictability or lack of scouting. Was that just kind of what you planned to do from the get-go?
Yeah, it's kind of funny actually, because I didn't really prepare anything specific for Happy. I know obviously you said he's predictable and everyone kind of knows that, but I think about 5 minutes before the games, I was actually talking to the Muslim, to shout out to the Muslim and thank me, because literally 5 minutes before the game, he was like, I just asked him, Happy's probably going to go CC first, so what should I do? This is like 5 minutes before the game, and he was like, do a 1-gate Oracle into free base, charge. And I was like, okay. He was like, if you haven't tried it before, I don't know if you should do it, but I was like, I'll just go for it. I didn't really feel confident anyway. Like, obviously, the 2 clear favourites were StarDust and Happy, and I didn't really feel too confident even getting out of my group. So I don't know. I thought I'd just go for it. See what happens. I didn't think my straight up game would be able to beat Happy anyway, so I thought, yeah, let's just try it.
Had a bit of YOLO swag in his games today, then.
It seems to work, man.
That'd be funny to see how it goes in the round of 16. So it's tied 1 apiece against Happy, and you're going on to Yonsu.
Yeah.
How did you go through the thought process of this gateway strategy that you used then, the 4 gateway? Were you thinking of other options, or was it a clear cut? All right, I'm going to do this.
It was YOLO swag, man. Literally, as soon as because I was gonna do the same build again. I thought he was gonna do the same build, and then I seen his early SCV, so I guess he changed things up. Did he go CC first in the last game?
He went a one barracks command center.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I thought he changed things up. So I thought maybe he was gonna blind counter my first 2 builds. So I thought. Seeing as I didn't skip the Zealot because I thought he was going to engineer and bait block me, I just thought maybe a 4-gate would work.
Another off-topic question. Are you having dinner at the same time as this interview?
Yeah.
I can hear cutlery and plates in the background, so... Oh, that's great. That is.
All right.
That's very typical, isn't it?
It really
this is a
is.
very English interview. I think
Yeah.
we can call this one.
Well, we're running out a bit of time,
Yeah.
Sean. So any final questions before we...
So, I mean, I guess you're over the moon with getting to the round of 16. Before coming into this group, then, last question. Before coming into this group, did you put a lot of practice into preparing for today's group? And if not, maybe, are you looking to do that for the round of 16?
I didn't do too much. I just kind of played ladder. I didn't do any custom games at all. I did custom games for my challenger match against Grass, but I didn't do any for the group that I just played. I thought ladder would be better practice for me. Mike, what are you doing? I thought ladder would be better practice to me, purely because I'd have to play every race, Protoss, Zerg, and Terran. So I thought, yeah, I'll just stick with ladder. I didn't expect to do too much anyway, so I didn't want to take it. I don't know. I didn't want to go into it with too much expectations. Like put all my practice into it and then kind of get. I don't know. I didn't want to feel deflated after the loss if it was going to happen, so I didn't really want to. Maybe that's the wrong way to go about it, but I think it kind of works for me actually.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how you prepare for the round of 16, then, won't it?
I don't think I'm going to change it. I think every time I put more pressure on myself, I seem to do worse. Like last season especially, I put way too much pressure on myself. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get out of my group. I'm going to do it. I was practicing a lot, and obviously I failed miserably. I got way too nervous, and my games just sucked. So yeah, I think. The more it works for me, maybe not other players obviously, but the more casual I am, the better I seem to do. So I think I'll stick with that.
All right. Well, any last words before we let you go, Bling?
Just thanks to WCS, Blizzard. Thanks to Team Dignitas, and thanks to the Muslim for teaching me the YOLO swag. So
UK fighting together.
Woo.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you in Cologne, Germany in a couple of weeks' time then.
Cool.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, family.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm glad I didn't press the mute button.
I think that's probably the greatest interview we've had so far. It took a little bit longer, but it was well worth it. I think we can tell the players to go in our next game now. They're sitting there waiting. And we're just like, well, sorry, we just got Bling's mother on the phone. So there she is. Well, congratulations. It was good.
Congratulations to the Bling family as a whole.
To the family. Congratulations to the family, indeed.
And now we move into our 4th series of the night with StarDust and Bly battling out. See, unfortunately, who loses out and is eliminated here from Premier League, but who advances on to play against Happy.
Yeah, and so this is not the game that we expected to see today. And I'm sure that Bly's had some time to think about what unorthodox strategies he can use against StarDust, because we know that StarDust is absolutely clinical when it comes to playing against Zerg players. We saw the rivalry he had with Jade on all the dream hacks last year. We've seen him beat the best of the best when it comes to playing Zerg.
We certainly have. Spawning up to the top is that man himself. In the red, representing my insanity, it is StarDust. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Zerg. Representing Team Acer, it is Bly.
I'm still laughing at that interview.
I have no words.
It was really funny because before we were going live, which obviously you guys didn't hear in the break, as it's just all giggles and woo! And he's like, shut up, Mum. Shut up. I'm going live with this. Shut up. It was good.
It really reminds me of home a lot. Like,
It is, isn't it?
You know?
They're probably, I won't guarantee you, but there's a high likelihood they're eating fish and chips right now from the chippy.
probably.
It's highly likely.
But like I don't know if your family's like that, but my family's like that. And if I was I know they would do this.
you can imagine that they're probably in the Bling's PC's in his living room.
Why
They're
are they all
watching
there?
EastEnders where he's got his headset on in the corner. He turns around, he goes, I won! So they mute EastEnders, and then they're all sitting there together.
It's like one of those rare moments where they're like, oh, better mute EastEnders for this.
Yeah.
Through to the next round. Oh well. Anyway, to this game, StarDust likes to go for Nexus first on Yonsu of all maps.
Yes, Nexus first here. I'm pretty sure Bly on this map was expecting to see Gateway expand, hence his build, which is hatchery, gas, then spawning pool. So this will come to a little bit of a surprise to him, especially because StarDust's style has been revolved around Gateway openings a lot. But he'll also be happy too. He's got a good opening against the Nexus first here.
Yeah, he's doing all right for himself. Certainly greedy enough to be able to get him going. And he does see the Forge and Gateway, and he's going to be like, oh, well, nice surprise. From there, we'll see what Bly wants to do, because right now he's getting this speed's pretty quick, very aggressive.
Yeah, so what he'll want to do here, aggression's highly unlikely, but he'll get Zergling speed for sure, then get out of gas, and then take a fast third base, and then just kind of use Zerglings to keep track of StarDust, make sure he's always outside the base, make sure he catches any probes that move out, and so on and so on and so on, and just kind of have a good feel of the game, you'd imagine.
Yeah, from there, starting on his gas geysers so that he can tech up a like.
But he's still mining gas with 3.
Oh, is he?
And this is Bly. Just this is the only way I can describe it is just Bly. Because this is not the standard response to what we usually see from the majority of Zerg players.
Yeah.
They would get speed, get out of gas, take a third, and go on. But in this regard, this can be a multiple of different things, and I should kind of slap myself in just assuming that the normal would happen here. This could be a Baneling bust, it could be roaches from this point, it could be a fast layer, could be anything. Bly is known for crazy things like this.
Especially against Protoss, of all matchups. We've seen crazy things from him, like hatcheries in base, like weird proxy positions.
And he's going for a Roach Zergling attack.
All right.
He's going to try and break the front door here, despite the mothership, despite the photon overcharge. He's going to go for quite a few roaches. He's saving his gas, 150 past this point for those roaches. We'll back it up with Zerglings once the wall is broken. And this is interesting. This is definitely Bly.
Yeah, and unfortunately for StarDust, he's not going to get any eyes on this at all. He started +1 pretty aggressively himself,
and
actually.
really fast double gases as well here on the natural before any tech. So Bly with his overlord is like, whoa,
Hello.
okay, cool. This is kind of nice. He's teching up really fast.
Yeah.
So this is obviously going to really help the attack. Bly's taken out of gas at 200 gas exactly.
Wow.
So he's going to build, what's that, like?
8.
Is it 8?
It's 25 each, right?
Yeah. So he can build 8 roaches and then flood with Zerglings. Very precise attack from Bly. StarDust with the 4 gases without tech is actually going to be quite heavy on sentries, but he only has 1 gateway, and there's been 0 chrono boost in the warp gate research, so he's actually can't even build anything.
Yeah, look at the drone to probe count. 20 against 36.
And with Zergling speed, he has full map control, and there's no way that StarDust sees this coming until it's potentially too late.
Yeah. He's going to have 2 sentries, but that's it. I mean, warp gate tech is far
But it doesn't
away.
matter. It's not like he's keeping out Zerglings from breaking the wall.
Yeah.
He has roaches to actually physically destroy the wall here.
This is going to be scary here for StarDust, and he still has no indication. The first indication he's going to have are these pylons on the high ground that will now spot these roaches once they move forward. So very little time to react, very little time indeed. But look at this. Twilight Council.
Well, the pylon sees the roaches, so
Yeah.
at least he has a couple of seconds heads up to what he could have had.
But those sentries might die very quickly, especially if he starts focusing. Oh no! Where are you going?
He was going for the overlord! It's the R magnet!
No!
It's the R magnet!
Oh! I can't believe that.
He went for the overlord!
Oh, he's going to just break through. There's nothing powering this.
As the
Oh
European
my.
ladder says, StarDust, you just got blind.
Oh, wow. Well, nothing much to say here, guys. He just walks up. He's like, Sentry 1, Sentry 2, nom nom nom. There's no warp gate tech being researched because there's no pylon. GG. Bly takes game number 1. Panic, panic, panic. Oh.
This was not meant to be the way that StarDust played today's group. He's now one game away from being eliminated in last place.
He's playing from Europe.
He's playing in the minus anti house. He's playing from Europe. He doesn't have latency issues. He is getting beaten up today. And if I quote, well, I'm not going to quote it. If I remember, he said something very similar to looking forward to today. Wait, I retweeted it earlier.
Looking for
Time 2 first match for WCS. I hope so. I will be winner of 2014 WCS EU.
What was the tweet after that, Sean?
I didn't see it. Oh yeah, that was after his games against Bling. Let's cry, sad face. So obviously came in today with high hopes, looking past the round of 32, as many other people expecting him to be top 2 favorite with Happy. Could be eliminated in last place today, like 4GG prior, like Naniwa before that.
This is weird. This is really strange. But hey, Bly does what Bly does best.
Yeah. So now in this next game, I think we may see a Gateway Expand. Gateway Expand has a much more hands-on approach to the game. You have a much more feel approach. You can feel out your opponent a lot more, be aggressive for the very early set of units that you get. But that was well executed from Bly. Very clean, very precise, and beautifully done, including the Overlord at the end.
I can't believe he went for the Overlord, man.
He went for the Overlord Magnet and pulled the units. If you didn't know what that is, it's a term from Destiny a long, long time ago. The Overlord Magnet, which drags your opponent's sentries away from the ramp where they would force field usually.
And it works.
And it worked. Right here in 2014 in the World Championship Series Premier League, an old little gimmick like that.
But he saw it with the pylon as well on the gateways and stuff. And
Still distracted, man.
And
that Overlord is a big pull.
that blue dot, he's like, yum yum.
Yes. Yes.
It's too tempting. StarDust wants the cake.
All right, so next map, Habitation Station, a fantastic combat map here for StarDust. Time after time after time, we've seen many a game, almost every game, with the Protoss player taking the gold base for some form of attack.
Yep.
We've seen players like Targa try to cut drones incredibly short to defend it. We've seen players overdrawn and try to get longer for the longer game and die to an immortal attack. Does StarDust go along the same route here?
Was it also Vortex that tried to do, bust it down, but was successful?
Yes.
And then Targa was not successful.
Yes.
Well, yeah, he still wasn't successful because it was played out very nicely. So, yeah, so we are loading up onto this game in just a second. But after seeing that happen, Bly could still just quite happily 2-0. Because, again, we mentioned it at the very beginning. He can beat anybody on any given day if he's in the right position with these kind of
Bly
players.
is so difficult to play against.
Yeah, it's...
The
Yeah,
thing is
scary.
that probably one of the main reasons why he hasn't got that many super high results apart from his second place finish at DreamHack Valencia in 2012 is because how can a player like this go through days and hours on end of tournament play when you're going to run out of strategy and builds?
Yeah.
And people will know what to do against you. But coming into a series like today where you only have to play maximum 3 series, you can prepare for those. You can have tricks up your sleeve and catch your opponent off guard, especially in a best of 3. And remember, in longer tournaments, best of 5s happen, best of 7s happen, where it become a lot less critical with his play.
And we saw how absolutely perfectly executed that was from Bly. 200 gas exactly, and then goes across. Even if the Overlord hadn't dragged those sentries away, it was still going to be an annoying hold to make work because of 8 roaches there barreling down upon your natural. Anyway, spawning up to the top right-hand corner, currently 1 game up, representing Team Acer. It is Bly. And up to the top left, 1 game away from elimination here in the Premier League. After wanting to win it all, it is StarDust.
Who is changed to a Gateway Expand this time.
And it looks like the gold Gateway Expand.
Yeah, it definitely could be from this point. Definitely could be. The reason why Clara says that is because with the gateway, well, the pylon there, rather than the gateway that's tucked in tightly to the nexus here, would suggest that he obviously is making a wall, which obviously much better to defend if taking the gold base for attacks that could try to enter your main. Still difficult to call the gold base this early, but definitely this is so far on the line towards that.
And with that now, let's see what Bly's going to do. He could happily get aggressive again. If he sees that pylon and anticipates his opponent going for a gold base or something like that, there's no reason that those early roaches can't work. It's very, very powerful against something like that. So StarDust has to be super careful. And actually, because of seeing that first game, we might see StarDust even completely deviate away from the gold base and be like,
Absolutely,
if you
yeah.
want to do that, I don't think I'm going to be able to hold against it.
Absolutely. Bly's actually opened up for hatchery first. He drone scouted inside his main base for a proxy gateway and also down to his natural just to see if there was anything there from StarDust. And then took his hatchery first, then extractor, and now the spawner pool. So once again, same build. Very good against the gateway expand here. But are we going to see a gold base from StarDust? There moves out a probe for the cyber core. Where's he go next? Back? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, we shall see. This Overlord even is keeping an eye on the 2 extractors. Only sees 1 taken so far with 3 in the gas, which is, just the normal go-to to get the warp gate tech out, as well as Stalker or probably even Sentry that would normally come out for that. And where are you going, Probe?
Looks like to the gold base, Claris.
Nope.
Nope.
Not just yet.
Doesn't turn left. Continues on.
He has the money for a Nexus, though.
So is it going to just be on the natural then? Or does he check the Zelnoga Tower first, then turn back? What is he doing? Where are you going? Okay, he's going to expand to his natural here.
Okay.
So it is just a normalized game here from StarDust. Not looking or focusing on the gold base, but just his own second base.
I really do think that might be because of what happened in game number 1. More so than...
I mean, if Bly, especially Bly, has a trick against the gold base being taken, then it's just game over and you're eliminated. So
Yeah.
it may, in this case, not even be worth the risk. He hides 2 Zerglings there, notice. Did swing around back, and the gas scout wasn't even there too. So these 6 Zerglings can do a lot. The Overlord's looking around to see what's there. And the second gas was taken quite early here. Warp gate research still not down, so looking for a very fast Stargate here.
Certainly could be doing. Zergling's going to head over into the natural and may end up just getting pushed away by that mothership core. But the Stargate goes down right in plain sight of this Overlord. So Bly has the opportunity to react to it accordingly.
Yeah, so warp gate research must...
10 more Zerglings.
Oh. This is interesting, because...
It's open.
It may be just not 10 Zerglings, Claris. It may be
Yeah.
a bust. And he's looking, actually, to see what units have been made. If anything from the gateway, sees nothing from the gateway, so adds on 10 more.
Make a sentry?
Well,
Sorry.
he definitely could make a sentry here. He's making a wall, which he would require 1 more pylon to finish the wall, by the way. And it's not finished yet. We could just see StarDust die right here, right now.
Yeah.
Sentry's not been built. It's a fast Stargate, which is not useful in this.
He's still not making any units.
There's no sentry. There's no wall.
Void Ray.
The Void Ray's not going to help.
No. There's too many Zerglings.
Is this the way StarDust dies? Is he going to get blind? There's the wall. Where is the Zealot?
Zealot, go! Where are the Zerglings?
Oh, okay, he's made a wall.
There's a hole.
But
Wait, no, there's a hole.
that should be a wall. That
don't
should
think
be a
so.
wall. I'm really sure. Well, maybe the Zealot's not there, but it is a wall. Gateway pylon.
Yeah.
But yes, the Zealot may not be positioned correctly. He sees the blinking units. Bly, what are you waiting for?
Why is he not going? What is this?
What are you waiting for?
He's droning. Sean, I'm confused. The wall is now complete. That Zealot isn't in the right position. It wasn't before.
Well, it's not going to work.
No.
Now it's too late. Now the warp gate's going to be done. He can warp in sentries. There's even a probe there to do it. He didn't go.
He decided it was too much. He couldn't break through.
All right. Okay, so 3rd hatch is down. 3 Overlords after getting a supply block. 4 Overlords. Okay, he could have gone. Definitely could have tried to squeeze past there.
I mean, he did notice that full wall was there before poking up just then. So I guess he thought that the Zealot was always going to be in the right position and he didn't want to risk it.
StarDust solidified another day. But he has started Void Ray production pretty fast here. So this is usually, with Void Ray production starting so early, a fast 3rd base from this, or pretty fast 3rd base. But considering there's a lot of Lings out there, he can't take it too fast.
Void Rays aren't really going to hold on too strong against that many Lings that want to pressure that 3rd base. He's sending 1 Ling to either 3rd and just going to drone up constantly behind this. 40 workers to 41. Ooh. Not the position he really wants to be in.
He's found the 3rd base, and with Queens off creep so slow, they can't really go down and fend. And with the build that Bly went for, he hasn't got Queens early. He didn't creep spread early.
These 2 Queens actually can't chase this, because if they do, those Void Rays could just turn around and kill them, I think. Right? Like, they could just actually just focus those down.
Well, 3 Queens is no, but
okay.
He can get the hatch here. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't try to go for the hatch. Okay, yeah,
he'll get it.
Yeah, you definitely go for the hatch.
No energy for transfuse. Bye-bye.
Yep, so that's a big win again there. The robotics facility's been thrown down at the back, so it's 2 Void Rays, 3 Void Rays with a Mothership Core, over to Zealot Sentry, and then Robo's thrown down. The probe count is decent. If we see a lot of gateways, definitely could be an attack from this position, but you could just take a third too.
This army's so annoying here for
and
Bly to deal with.
You can get a cancel again and even recall if it gets sticky.
Yeah. This is a great play here from StarDust, who's just capitalizing on his opponent's initial investment into something that really didn't do him anything.
Yeah, and now he's going to fall back and take a third. It's a really good position from this point for him, I feel. Definitely, like, throw down the robotics bay, go take a third, bro. 3 Void Rays, great harass, great defending, a lot of Zealot Sentry.
He just needs to go check up the gold now, which is where he's looking to move to. Definitely.
Yeah, you could actually get the golds.
Yep. So
Yeah, go golds, go.
And he indeed will do. Wiggle around there, have a look around. And meanwhile, there's Hydralisks on the way for Bly, who are going to try and hold him on strong in this. But those Hallucinate Phoenix too, in fact. Very smart move here, so it does increase their ability to actually spot everything. We'll see the Hydralisk den as well.
Yeah, this is bad news, bad bears, bad news. Hydra's on the way, but in low numbers because the economy's hurt. Bly have to double expand here because he's been slowed down so much. And then he can't ever stop this third from being taken. So few units. It's not like his Hydras can go over there either. Great harassment from these 3 Void Rays, though.
Yeah, it's like, well, they will get themselves the Mothership Core. They have full energy, that's
nice because he can't use Photon Overcharge on his third base now.
Yeah.
And we do see speed coming in, so there's a potential for an attack, but it is still slow. Oh! He cancelled the thirds.
Wait, what? He did? Why?
Why? That's interesting.
The Lings were not there. I think it was a misclick.
Cancelling a third as a misclick is a pretty difficult thing to do.
Dude, yesterday in a ladder game, I cancelled Warp Gate Tech at the very last second, and I don't know why. It was really bad.
What is StarDust doing? He's on 5 gateways. It's hardly a power attack.
This is weird. Does he think it's still there?
No. What is he doing?
There's a probe down to the south. What is this? Why is Bly going for a 5th?
I don't know.
What is going on, Sean?
I have no idea why StarDust cancelled that.
What is this game?
It was like 80% complete, and then he cancels it.
Did you watch him cancel it, or did you just come back to it and it wasn't there?
It cancelled it. He cancelled it. I watched him cancel it.
Yeah.
He had all his units there. It was safe. It was protected. Then he cancelled it, and I do not know why. But obviously, he spent all that money in a lot of Zealots. He has Zealot charge, +2 attack. He's going to go for a 2 base, basically. Which, in theory, is working.
Look, yeah, because he still he
sure, Bly still
there.
thinks it's there. He's taken 5 bases. He's droning up massively, and only has a few units to defend this. But there is a Spire, and there's 700-800 gas. Mulists are good here.
Yeah, Mulists are very good. There's like
But
no Stalkers.
I'm just so surprised this is what StarDust chose to do.
This is very strange. And he's putting all his hopes on this. He did start Phoenix production, though. He's pitting that in terms of the...
He saw a 5th base being taken, and a 5th base is very unusual.
Yeah.
And you can... A lot of players that go Mulist do take the 5th base quite fast, but look at this attack.
Already engages those spines. These Zealots do not
Force
have charge.
fields.
He really needs to... Oh, it catches quite a few of those, but there's still some in the back. The army for Bly is like non-existent.
Yeah, it's not. He's way too greedy. And in practical... This is working. You know, in theory, it's weird. In practical reasons right now, this is working. It's just very, very weird.
No, he shouldn't engage with the Hydralisks. Oh, I guess one Void Ray. I guess he just needs to wait until the Corruptors are out, and then he could be okay. But he's losing a lot of workers.
I mean, there's no forward pylon, there's no Stalkers. It's just very weird.
That was a strange game.
And it's over just like that.
Yeah.
It's over just like that. The thing is, cancelling that base is you get 300... extra minerals for cancelling. That's 3 extra Zealots.
I don't think he needed them then.
2 extra gateways, which he didn't build. Like 3 extra Zealots. It's just very weird. That was a weird cancel. But whatever the case, he's able to pick up the victory there, and it is 1-1. That means we all go into the 3rd game there. But it was scary. That was a scary early game because Bly, there was an opportunity, didn't quite take it. But now we do go to the 3rd game. Depending on what the map is, I think the bigger the map, the better it is.
Polar Knight.
Definitely could see some trickery here again from Bly.
I think if Bly watches that replay back, he'll be kicking himself about that earlier stage.
I mean, when today's over, I think I'm going to watch the replay back. I have to try to look through StarDust Vision alone to see what the hell he was trying to look at, what forced him to do that. Was it a mistake? Was it not? Because I don't know.
Maybe because he thought his opponent was on a low economy because of that committal at the beginning, and he only had Hydralisk, so he was like, right, if I can make Colossi, then I'm just going to kill you.
But of 5 gateways...
It's really strange.
2 base, 5 gateways. it's not even powerful. Like, I'm sure he's got that whole army, but the reinforcements, it could have been much, much higher. It could have been 8 gateways.
Yeah, yeah.
It just doesn't make that much sense.
How much resources did he have at the end? Do you know?
A lot. A lot.
All right.
Okay, so Polar Knight. You think we're going to see an all-in type-ish style from Bly?
Could work. I mean, it could have worked last game, but he didn't do it. So, yeah, it certainly could happen. Just a roach push again. On a map like this, it's really hard to actually deal with because there's no, like, ramp. Like, Habitation Station, it's much harder to execute something like that with roaches because obviously there is that ramp.
Yeah.
But this is more akin to what we saw in Yonsu where there's, you know, the level ground. So, could work.
All right.
If he does it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to find out here.
But he might mix it up.
StarDust has to be so careful. So careful. Against a player like Bly. In the next game, if he wins Bly, it's where we see StarDust maybe freestyle a little bit more and play a little bit more relaxed. Because against Happy, you don't need to be as scared. It's just a complete different scale of players. Bly, incredibly unpredictable, very dangerous as a player, can easily beat you in just a single map, which this could be it. But Happy is a lot more written out. As Bling said, very scripted in how he plays, very repetitive, so it's easy to play against, and that's where StarDust could shine more. But here is different.
Yeah, you're right. And StarDust and Happy, they both sit on top of the European ladder and probably meet each other all the time in terms of how MMRs go. But now, spawning down to the south as our red Protoss representing my insanity, it is StarDust. And up to the north, we have our blue Zerg representing Team Acer, it's Bly.
Bly. What are you going to do? What thing are you going to do here? He doesn't necessarily need to do anything, but
no, not necessarily.
One would think that he would try something here. Maybe he feels like it is difficult to play StarDust in a straight-up game.
Strong PvZ.
Very strong.
Yeah. And Bly always seems to get away with these more unconventional styles, so why on earth not? Why on earth not?
He's opened so far, both games, Hatchery first, Gas then Sporting Pool. Does offer him a lot of different options when you're able to go for the gas so early.
Yeah.
The circling speed, potentially roaches, bailings, layer,
and
yada, yada.
I like seeing players that go into a series and open up exactly the same way, but then branch off to make it a little bit harder for your opponents to like spot what's going on and try and read into what you're doing. Because if you deviate wildly at the beginning and they just get in there with a probe scout or something like that, then it's like, well, nah, okay, I kind of get it, but
yeah. I mean, if I was StarDust, I'd be getting a sentry after the Zealot as one of my first units while I expand.
Yeah.
To be able to help defend early on, and I'd be willing to sacrifice my economy. Oh, not really economy, my tech. Sorry, I'm fine with a bit of a later Stargate. I prefer the much earlier sentry and even technically a forge quite early too.
As opposed to not dying.
That's right. StarDust definitely would be thinking the longer the game is, the better it is for you.
Well, for now, he's going to complete his wall off and get right back into that gas. He's on 3 with gas, but interestingly enough, Bly's changed it. He's not gone for gas here.
Yeah. Well,
until now. But it is slightly different.
Slightly different indeed. And I think this is more of a reactionary gas taken here.
Yeah.
I think he was looking to play 3 hatch, but then saw the gateway expand, so took gas, rather than dedicating to choosing it earlier on. And it's going to go inside, see a Zealot being made, see 1 gas. And against a player like StarDust, this Overlord is going to be very important to keep towards around the back, I suppose, unless he brings the other one around. Very important to keep eyes on that second gas. Second gas, without that being taken, is going to be a 4 gateway or 3 gateway. And that definitely is going to something you need to look at. And there he spots it, second gas. So that's actually a really nice and early scout for him. And that means that his opponent is looking to tech up, and he doesn't need to worry about, for example, a roach farm really early on.
And likewise, we have the probe now getting in here. Did not see the gas timing because of these Zerglings popping. So, unfortunately for StarDust, a little bit in the dark.
Okay, so I was going to say he may have seen a drone putting the gas in, but not quite, I don't think.
No, it's just slightly off, so
he doesn't know it all.
Poor little StarDust, he's going to have to run home with his tail between his legs. And then we have speed now started here for Bly, just to keep him well defended. Do we see any more probes trying to sneak out? No, he's just going to come... Oh, he is trying to sneak out with this one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's right, as the Zerglings get that too. We will see the warp gate research first, by the way, rather than rushing the Stargate out, so just a little bit of a more defensive precaution. And that probe is right in the spotlight here. And I think he's just looking for an all-in. He's not going towards the third bases, doesn't care about third bases, he's just kind of charging towards the natural in hope of seeing units attacking him or coming towards him.
Yeah.
Check the queens. Now, if he survives, check the third.
So quite a nice scout here, just to confirm a few things that aren't really occurring, but it does die off for its troubles in the end. Meanwhile, Bly's still having a look around at this main, and he did see the Stargate at the front, so he can know what's coming towards him.
Yep. And even a sentry starting at the same time as the Phoenix. So nice and defensively set up here. StarDust is in much, much better shape not to die earlier on. And there is nothing coming anyway, as we can see. It's just circling speed. Third base has been taken. Extra queen being made to help the creep spread. And overall, just a standardized game from this point. But where does Bly go next? He's starting to mine gas. He's approaching 100. Does he go layer? Does he start to look towards adding on evolution chambers soon? Does he go double evolution chambers? That's quite popular recently with going for circling upgrades. What is he going to spend his gas on next?
The Phoenix is going to try and find that. That's a big point here for them. Not only to put on some harassment, of course, if they want to, but try and see what's going on. The layer starts as the Phoenix enters.
And it's such a... You can really see the differences in StarDust's game. Like, this Overlord, I mean, that Phoenix should be killing Overlords, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't it killing the Overlords in his main base? Why isn't it killing the Overlords at his night? He's actually scouting a lot.
Yeah.
He went straight over there to spot what this is and saw a fast layer. So with a fast layer coming in at this time, it's most likely going to be, or highly likely, going to be for Roach Speed and or the Hydralisk Den. It's never Mulisks here, because obviously the Phoenix is already out. So he knows he's going to be playing against maybe a Hydralisk push, could be Roach Speed, lots of Roaches. So these are the things that are going to be coming through his mind here.
Yep, which is why we see the extra gases being added on so that it can tech into the correct responses to deal with something like that, as he adds on a Forge so he can get his upgrades going. Very important. And he pokes over to the third once again and sees that still no drones are over there.
Yeah.
So...
there's a lot of Zealots, though. 5 Zealots have been made. Luckily, there's a Zergling that is going to spot them, and he has control of the Zelnoga towers. Does he have units out, though, in time to defend? No is the answer right now, because he's not building any. 9 are coming, so...
So Roach Hydra. Did he add any evolution chambers? I don't think so, right?
Not yet, nope. So it could be going for like a Roach Hydra play. Definitely could be going Roach Hydra push if Hydralisk Speed is researched first. But these Zealots, man.
So weird.
Straight in there, Spore Crawler, which means Phoenixes can come back.
Yeah. A very, very strange little attack out here by StarDust that has caught his opponent off guard quite a bit. Starts picking up Roaches and bringing those down. The Zealots, he's going to have to micro against those diligently.
And the Mothership Core's here.
Oh, Time Warp for the win. If he wants to actually throw that down on the Roaches. But there's not that many Zealots left, actually.
This is a great attack. I mean, the Roaches are going to help clean this up, but the Phoenixes are going to do quite a lot. And shame he couldn't bring down the other Spores, but the Phoenixes did a lot there. And he also has gone over to the robotics facility. So we should be seeing the robotics bay and just looking to prepare himself for a type of Hydralisk play or Roach play coming in. And Immortal's been added on, which is a bit of a safety precaution here while going up towards the Colossus. Because imagine if you try to take a third-ish zoom with Sentry Zealot and a couple of Phoenixes. It's nice to have the Immortal in there to deal with the Roaches he's already seen being built.
Yeah, and the more upgrades he adds on here, the further Bly is going to fall behind unless he's actually doing some damage himself.
Yeah.
Because right now he's just committing all of his gas to Tech and Hydras.
And even potentially a Hive here. Ready for Vipers, maybe.
Yeah, it looks as if that's what he's just going to try and do. Go Roach, Hydra, Viper, and then from there on try and kill his opponent. But it's going to be like all on one attack. If he doesn't kill him there without upgrades, then there's not much more he can do.
StarDust tried to take a third and was kept away and has decided to build a Warp Prism and also add on more gateways because he couldn't take his third so fast. So he's spending his minerals because your minerals are really high at this moment. So he's able to do something extra with his money. Warp Prism could be quite useful considering he's cleaned up a lot of the map with the Phoenixes. And a nice good warping in the main base while going towards taking his third could be pretty cool, I think.
There's the Hive now on the way. And he needs to make sure that these Hydralisks aren't too vulnerable if Phoenix dive in, because in small numbers they will get killed off very quickly. But aside from that, he's just got units everywhere, really.
And StarDust is like, you still haven't taken your gas on your third, man. What is this? Low economy game, Bly.
It's a bit weird, and he keeps losing drones. I mean, he's killed off 12 drones with these Phoenix, and he's still keeping them alive. So these Phoenix are going to be super useful if he can get on top of Vipers in a weird, isolated location. Look at this random little Warp Prism Void Ray composition over here.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think it's going to do quite a lot, considering the units are out in the open.
Yeah.
And StarDust is playing this so slowly, so cautiously, taking that slow third base. Will add on cannons, probably 2 if I'm playing against Bling, to make sure he can protect it. He sees the units moving out, so Warp Prism will probably move in as he knows his opponent's army's in the middle.
Hallucinated Phoenix does fly forwards in the charge here to have a look around what's going on. We'll report back and say these Zealots are safe to land as they're going to try and start working on Spore Crawlers.
And he sees the Hive and must be like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
The Hive?
He has to know what's coming.
But that means that would require throwing down the Twilight Council quite soon if he wants to try to get up to Templars to feedback them. Because obviously if the Vipers pull out the Colossus from the fight, these Hydrals are going to do quite well for themselves. But overall, remember this, Bly does not have evolution chambers and does not have a very strong economy. He's got a decently sized army, but a very weak long game, let's say.
Yeah.
So he's going to be very strong with this next attack, the Hydra, Roach, and Viper. And if he pulls out the Colossus, sure, this could work really, 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 really well. But if this attack doesn't work when the Vipers are ready, then where does he go? I mean, there's 1-1 Protoss army. Twilight Council's coming in. He has to hit soon, and he has to hit hard. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to do that well here.
I mean, the one thing that we're seeing that's a big disadvantage to StarDust is that he's having to add on the Twilight Council before he even gets the Templar Archives, right? So it's really slowing down his ability to have those feedbacks out and ready for when this would come. Because now, the Vipers, they've got the energy. They have accrued it, and he could start going quickly. But still, the economy being shut down earlier by these Phoenix a little bit is making it harder to do so.
If you look at StarDust's army and say, all right, let me pull out the 3 Colossus and the Immortal, it's Zealot Sentry. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's what Bly's hoping on.
And, well, he comes in once again with these Phoenix, gets a few more kills. The Zealots do end up dying. Bly has to, like, go very, very soon.
Well, the Warp Prism's died now, so I think this is the time.
Yeah.
But the Templar Archives is not that far away. You can add Archons into this. He can feed back.
Bly, you need to go.
He has to go. Time is running out. This isn't going to work for much longer.
And looks going to move into the middle here. This is still a very, very strong army, but absolutely needs those grabs down and in the right position.
To be honest, the Phoenix should be helping with this too.
Oh, yeah. They need all the help they can get.
All right, where are the pulls? This is great position for Bly.
All right, if he goes for the grabs, gets them, he does pull 2 forwards. Will the Roaches be able to position themselves? No, they don't even start focus firing them down. He needs to get more pulls here somehow, some way. There's actually not that many gateway units left over here. But at the same time, these Colossi go completely uncontested.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Not at all.
Hydras come in from the back and get completely melted as well.
And 3 Colossus survive. That was not how that attack was meant to go.
No.
And StarDust is like, that's pretty sick. I just killed a Zerg army, all of it.
Bye-bye,
and even
Vipers.
the Vipers, yeah, even the Vipers dead. Bly's droning up. He may just lose to this counterattack. 3 Colossus, there's no Spire. The only anti-Colossus was the Vipers.
Yeah.
He has no money to use Ultralisk, which the Ultralisk cabin just finished, by the way, as he tries to, uses the Evolution Chamber. But he's below 100 supply, and
that was a disaster of an attack.
Yeah.
It really didn't work.
you can go Zealot Archon and just go for it now.
Yeah.
He's adding on more Phoenixes just in case there's a random Mueller switch comes in that could catch him off guard, but you can actually just go for the fight now.
Yeah,
but he may not know that, but...
You're right. StarDust is basically like overestimating his opponent's position at this point. Like, he's just playing it super safe once again, which isn't surprising against a player like Bly here, but, you know, StarDust, if he just goes for the engage, there's not really a whole lot Bly can do. He has 38 army supply against 78 army supply, which is more efficient anyway with those Colossi.
So he's going to try and use Infestors and Ultralisks, but with the Immortal that's still alive, Archon's in there, Phoenixes can pick up the Infestors, Storm on its way. Bly is looking bad at the moment. He's looking not in good shape.
Yeah, poor guy. He's going to have to pull Miracles out. Chitin's plating might help out during this because actually, you know, he hasn't really started Immortal production once again, which could try and turn the tide. Did just spot an Ultralisk pop, though, for a second.
Yeah. Well, he's adding on Blink now. I think he's going to prepare to engage. Prepare to engage!
This is just too strong an army. Look at it. It's pretty strong.
Who was it yesterday that played, or the day before, on this map, Protoss, against Zerg?
There's a few of them. San? Yeah.
Remember San versus Mini Razor, was it?
Was it Mini Razor? Oh, yeah, where we were, like, playing Cluedo.
On this map? Yeah, playing Cluedo. And at this point, he was like, all right, I'm just going to go take my fourth man.
Yeah.
Just going to sit back, let you come to me.
Yeah, that was fun. Did well for him.
I think StarDust is very aggressive in his mindset-wise, so I don't think he'll sit back too much in this game. I would
No.
imagine, one would imagine that he would be like, all right, let me go pop another Zerg.
Yeah.
But he's going to go take his fourth.
I guess.
Yeah, he's got the second rebel coming in. It looks like he wants to add in more Immortals before he's ready to fight.
I can understand that. I mean, against an opponent that's basically just got exclusively armored units, there's a few Zerglings in there, but realistically, there's... Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Wow, that ice went very quickly. All right, so even Chromatic Drive, Warp Prism Speed, why not?
Oh, that bad guy out.
Yeah. The Ultralisk Conga line comes back to clean up a few Zealots, and indeed they will. Whilst we have Zerglings actually trying to catch something, and they do get into the main, so that's quite annoying, but he just pops in a few Zealots, and that cannon there should be able to help out.
So 5 extra gateways to really pack some power to this punch.
Ooh. Well, okay, even if he got Chromatic Drive, who really cares?
Well, Prisms are fast anyway.
They're pretty fast.
So I really like the composition that Bly's trying to build now. I do love myself some Infestor, Ultralisk, and Hydralisk. Hydralisk at the back. Oh, that survived.
I can't believe that, yeah.
Hydralisk at the back. It's funny because you look at the army like, I can't wait to kill those Hydralisks with my Storm and Colossus, but the problem is you can't because they're at the back, and they deal so much damage.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the damage that they deal at the back, and it's really surprising to watch your army melt. I've had multiple fights where I'm like, all right, and then somehow I can't break through the Ultralisk fast enough, and my army's fungled, and then Hydralisk just churn away at the back.
Yeah, very strong.
And it is very, very difficult sometimes.
Oh, Warp Prism Speed's done now, and he's going to look to drop again. There's no actual Spore Crawlers at any static DR. There's one Spore Crawler, but that's really not going to cause too much of a problem here, as StarDust can start working away at this and force the army back, and now this is going to prompt him to move through the middle. How many Immortals does he have? 4. That's actually not as many as I was expecting him to have.
He's got to be so careful at this point. Once you allow the Ultralisk count to climb up, even though they don't have the best of upgrades, you have to be careful because Colossus Stalkers, they're pretty squishy against Ultralisks, especially with at least +2 coming in, they will have. But he's just got to be careful with his fights, recall if need be careful of the fungals, make sure to really get those Immortals hitting on the Ultralisks and try to land those storms correctly.
We even have Corruptors being added on with the eventual Broodlord transition, but looks like StarDust is actually looking for a fight. He's like, come on, mate.
That's going to be Storm City if he comes down here.
Yeah, it is. Well, Bly's set up on his defenses. He's going to stick around with his Spine Crawlers. Sit back for now.
StarDust just building up a massive army and a massive bank too.
God damn, I keep doing that. It's really hard to observe and cast at the same time. But I think we're back in Cluedo phase, to be honest with you, because...
But with a Warp Prism.
Yeah, with a Warp Prism now. Oh, dear me. Where are these High Templars? Okay, they were. I thought they were going to stray on forwards there. I was a bit scared. This Warp Prism has been annoying for poor Bly.
Yeah, with the Corruptors coming out, should be able to pick that out the sky.
And we're back to the Fleet Beacon and Stargates.
Yep.
All right.
I wouldn't be expecting carriers today, guys.
No.
I think we're going to see some Tempests, most likely.
I
upon
think so
seeing the
too.
Great Aspire and so on.
And there we go. Bly has made himself a nice army, let's be fair.
He has. He's played this out very nicely towards not dying.
But this is also a
the
very
position he
nice
was in.
army.
Yeah. The upgrades are so weak, though, for Bly. He's just on one Evolution Chamber all game. And I really do like StarDust's army. But remember what happened yesterday when Sand played, or not yesterday, the day before when Sand played? It was like this epic 40-minute build-up into a 5-second fight.
Yeah.
Because the Protoss was just way too strong.
And I think that might happen here again. We will see. Bly, how many Infestors? 3 Infestors out right now. And he's just adding on his upgrades. The thing is that this is almost a mirror. If he just sits here with his Warp Prism, like we saw yesterday, or the day before even, and he's adding on Dark Shrine as well. Like, he just keeps harassing with Warp Prism. I'm waiting, I'm waiting.
Yeah. Just wait.
It is
Increase
a mirror.
and make the ultimate army. That's what StarDust is aiming for, just the ultimate army, really. But he's got a lot of Colossus.
Whoa.
I wouldn't fight up there. I would fight it earlier, but...
One High Templar died. Recall out.
Yeah, that was a bit scary. I would have thought earlier if I was going to fight, not there.
Good job, Broodlings.
And Tempest been added on, and we have the Dark Shrine on the way, which is going to increase the amount of Warp Prism usage and harassment details that it will give.
I'm wondering if he knows that Tempests are coming out. I guess he has to after all of this delay as to what's going on.
Yeah, you would give your opponent credit enough to
Yeah.
build Tempests.
But from there, how, as a Zerg, do you really deal with this army? You just dance around and don't engage ever. It's basically what you have to do because it's so strong.
Bly has made a very, very strong army now, but doesn't have any money to rebuild it at all.
Yeah.
He's on a decent amount of bases, but it is equal to the Protoss. But as you can see, StarDust has been on these bases much earlier, has more money in the bank. One good fight has to come out, and it really needs to... Well, Bly needs to keep his army alive in this fight. He doesn't need to just beat StarDust, but he needs to keep his units alive.
And those Tempests being out now cause a whole lot of headache to these Broodlords at the back.
Yeah. Does he have an Oracle, by the way? No.
No, he does not.
Observer close? Or is overseas anyway? No. So he's really just going to have to, try to manually get these Tempests working.
It looks like Bly's actually just going to go for it here. Really forcing an engagement from his opponent.
Well, he does have the better position on this high ground now.
Yeah, he does. And look how many Broodlords he has.
That's a
Good
lot.
God.
Yeah.
That's
But
like...
there's a lot of gateways too, if I'm not mistaken. So we will see a good Stalker warp in after this. Only 12, actually. That's not that high.
One Broodlord's going to fall, but how many more will remain? There's so many. Good fungals across the entire Protoss army, but the Storms absolutely rip through a lot of that ground. The Ultralisks are dissolving. 2 of them are being kept alive by the Transfuses. And the Broodlords here, there's still 8 of them left over. They have nothing to deal with the Tempests, though. The Tempests just kind of have free reign over this entire location. So
And this Zerg army is a dead one. Look at that.
having nothing to deal with the Tempest at this point, then what are you ever going to do? Those Immortals never died.
Preemptively building additional Phoenixes in anticipation for a maybe Mueller switch there. With getting +1 attack, just great anticipation coming out from StarDust. And with the Phoenixes already out, this is not going to be a problem for him. He's going to move across the map and just look for his victory here. I mean, Bly did build a good army, but this kind of fight for Bly and this type of army has to be built and created from an equal standpoint, or at least an advantageous one. You can't try to do this from behind. The Protoss player's got way too much time. He's able to build the right army to deal with it.
Oh, you have to have such a bank that you make 40 Mutalisks, not 14.
Yes.
But even then, Anion Pulse Crystals on the way now for these Phoenix, it's always going to be very difficult. And notice how StarDust all game long had those Phoenix down in the bottom left-hand corner, saving them, savoring them for this one moment, this one shining opportunity. Ooh. Everything's dying.
This is the end of Bly, unfortunately, in the Premier League this season. GG. StarDust moves on to face off against Happy to decide who will go through in second place with Dignitas Bling.
Yeah, that was a bit closer than I was expecting in the end, though. Bly put up a really, really good fight, and StarDust keeps his hopes alive.
Yes, he does. Unfortunately, there for Bly, very close.
Yeah,
almost went through, almost was able to Bly his way through StarDust, but StarDust now gets to actually fight for one of the top 2 positions, which he came here to get today.
This is the winner's match that we thought was going to occur, but now we're in the loser's match.
And I would have to favor StarDust here against Happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Happy's always a great player, but it's really funny to look at these 2 players when you think about their history in the Premier League, the game that we're going to have. Happy's never been eliminated in the round of 32, always top 16 and above in every season he's played in Premier League. StarDust, his one time in Premier League was top 6, or 6th place, should I say. And now they go, and one of them's going to die in the round of 32.
Well, that's certainly true. So we are going to lose one of the big hard hitters here in WCS Europe next. So join us after the break when we find out who is advancing onto the round of 16. Will it be Empire Happy, or will it be My Insanity's StarDust?